Hi again. I just wanted to finish up our series on paying off your mortgage in 5 to 7 years or less. And I know people that have done it in very, very few years. And kind of give you some history, some reasons why this is the truth, and how it can work for you, and some of the things that you need to do. And this is very important that was not covered in those other videos. So again, I'm a former recovering mortgage loan officer, which is an MLO, mortgage loan officer. And and remember that the mortgage industry encompasses lots and lots of hands. You've got your real estate agents, title agents, you have appraisers. And then within the mortgage industry, you've got your processors. You have your mortgage lenders, brokers, then the government, and so on. I mean, it's massive. And part of the reason why this is such a huge thing, and we have to go back to history, is back in 1912, 13 era, President Wilson, he created the Federal Reserve. Okay, and many of you have probably already read about that. That changed the way we bank, the way we do things here in this country. Before that, farmers, our ancestors, no matter what their profession was, they could go off and buy a home on simple interest and pay it off in 5, 10, maybe 15 years at the most, never beyond that. They always were able to pay off their home, if they were able to, of course, in a fairly quick time, because it was simple interest. And then they could go and buy other assets, like more land. And that's because they had the means to. So all of this changed around the 1912 period. Now, it really didn't escalate into mortgages of what we have today with amortization and inactive accounts, where our money goes in and we can't get it back out, and it takes 30 years. That changed around 1929 with the Depression and World War II, and that came with new government laws. So we needed that at that time. But that turned into a compound situation, compound interest, where, again, like we talked about, we are buying our home if we pay it off in 30 years, and we're also buying the bank a home because of the way the amortization, and I talked about it briefly, but if you go to your closing disclosure, which is called a CD, that is the last disclosure the title agent gives you when you're done, when your loan is complete. And on the very last page, I believe it's page 6, it says the TIP, T-I-P, means total interest paid. And usually it's going to be between 70 to 85%. It is not the APR that they are telling you. That is a lie. Okay, you are totally paying a huge amount of interest to the bank. Okay, so that's another thing that we are lied about. Now, the reason why I am not doing loans anymore is because I saw too many things that did not sit well with me and my ethics. So now I am teaching people the way to pay off their loan quickly, and then that way they are their own bank. They can keep their home paid off and have money to save and invest. They can take that money and invest it too from their HELOC. Or, you can be your own bank. Whatever you want to do, as long as you're doing it with discipline, is my recommendation. Okay, so this way of doing it with the HELOC in first position is better than what we've been told, make extra payments every month. I did that for many years because I didn't know. And I always was like, well, how is this helping me? Because I'm going to go refinance. And when you refinance, we all know that is crack for the government. It's a crack addiction for mortgage loan officers and the whole industry, because you're never really paying off that home. And for years, I would just sit and think about it, and I didn't understand. It didn't compute in my brain. I'm like, how is this going to work for me? And And so then I started questioning things. And when you question things, then you start finding the truth. And so this is the truth. And I want you to know that in Australia, they've been doing this for over 40 years. 85% of the Australians, the citizens of Australia, own their home. And because they paid their home off so quickly, they were able to buy a second home, and they own that as well. Okay, 85%. Now in our country, and this is the numbers as of today, it's about 37 and change, 37% in our country that own their one home outright. They own it free and clear. They don't own a mortgage. That's not even half of what Australia does. So other countries have had this. We have been fed, all these lies on media and, oh, get the best APR. Oh, make extra payments and, get a mortgage through the government, which, most of us have to. I myself had to get mortgages through the government. So, you've got your VA loan, your USDA loan, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae loans, all of those are helpful. But if we teach each other how to do it correctly, then we will succeed and help one another so that we can have a better future for ourselves and for our children. That is what this is all about. And of course, learning discipline and money. And I'm going to be talking all about that more. And that is kind of like my thing is just learning about money. And God gave us money to help others and to succeed because He is a God of abundance. And so I want you to know that I'm also going to be talking about credit. A lot of people have been asking me, how do I get my credit score up? And gosh, I have so many stories about credit. And so listen or wait, for the next video that'll come out in a little bit. But this strategy of having a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, make sure you get the correct one. There's HELs, which are just basically using the equity in your home. It's called a home equity loan. And it's better than having a mortgage. But those are usually fixed, 10, 15 years. So those are great too, but you're not be able to get your money out of those. So make sure it's a home equity line of credit, a HELOC in the first position. You're going to get a sweep account, which you'll treat just like your regular checking and savings account. Put all your savings and your income in there. You're going to get checks. You're going to get a banking card, just like you normally would. You could still use credit cards for points. I'm a big points hacker. So you still do everything that way, and then you can go pay off those cards every month. But you're not changing your budget to do this strategy. That's the beauty of it. You're not putting that extra payment in. Okay, you don't need to do that. You are using your current budget, not changing it at all. You just have to make sure that you have more income than your outgo to make this work. And I want you to understand the difference between simple interest and compound interest and how revolving accounts are better than the inactive account, which is your mortgage. Okay, remember mort means to die. And we don't want to do that. We want to have living accounts, those revolving accounts that can help us in emergencies, help us to get assets, because assets is how you're going to get passive income. And that's going to make your life easier so that you can go out and serve and give and help others and give freedom to yourself as well. Okay, so I want you to go back, watch the other videos. The link is going to be in the comments if you want to talk to the company that I'm affiliated with. They have a free service. They go over your whole situation. It doesn't matter if you have complicated, LLCs and all of that. No big deal. Okay, they know how to do it. They've got the calculators to show you how much interest you're going to save. I'm personally going to be saving on my last home that I'm paying off over $170,000 in interest. to get this paid off, my last house. Super excited about it. And that's going to be happening in a few years. And so they will go over all of that. Okay, it's totally free. All right. Then if you do want to join their system, then they'll talk to you about that. But you can just say no, or you can do it, whatever you want to do. So I do want you to understand that it's totally worth it taking. It's a half an hour to an hour to sit with them, depending on how your situation is. You also can purchase a home with this system the first time. You don't have to go get a government loan, that is just a regular mortgage on compounded interest and then convert, doing it twice. You can just do all the paperwork for the first HELOC in the first position. You do have to have 10% down and then just start and pay it off in no time. Okay, so they will give you all the details. Go click that link, get something scheduled. They are incredibly friendly. They break it down. It's easy when you have questions. And I hope that you get going on this, because I have talked to many millionaires, one billionaire, and this is what they do. And it's not that they're keeping it secret. It's just a lot of people go, oh, I don't believe this. I myself, it was around 2005. I had a neighbor. We lived in Washington, and they had a family member from Australia that had told my neighbor about this. And my neighbor came to me, and I wasn't in mortgages then, but my neighbor came to me and told me about it, but I didn't quite understand it. It was one of those like, how can this be real? And I wish I listened then. Okay, that was like, a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. So, it could have really saved my life. And I wished that I had been more open to thinking of things out of the box. So I want you to just open up and just say, give this a chance. Go click on the link, get an appointment, have them talk to you. They will answer all your questions. And remember that a lot of things that you are told, especially if it's from the government, is not always correct. And we've been trained to think a certain way for so long. And I myself was the same. Okay, so, and I was in an industry that I was trained to think it was awesome, and I had to get out. So I hope that you see the wisdom in this, because we are given wisdom. And if we take action to go and take that wisdom and do something with it and then share it with others, it's only going to bless us. So I hope this blesses you. I hope you can take it and then bless others with it. And, like my video, share it with others, and then subscribe, because I'll be making more videos along the way. And, let's do some good. Let's do some good things with paying off our homes. I'm excited for you. See you later.